everyone, welcome to Saturday Night Footy, and what a match it should be. Carlton and Essendon, fierce rivals over the years, Luke Darcy. Bombers have had the edge in recent times, but they haven't started the season all that well.
No, big game coming up tonight. We know the history between these two sides. Carlton got a win in round one. Essendon had to have penciled in last week against Fremantle as a must-win. They got beaten by 44 points. That puts a fair bit of pressure on them into tonight's game. I thought Carlton were very good last week against Brisbane. Jonathan Brown obviously kicked 7, but they contested well, and the forward line started to function. We know Feb's not there, but I like what Henderson offers. He's quicker than I thought. O'Halpin's been in really good touch, and at the moment I think they probably go in tonight feeling a little more confident than this side, Hutto. 6
changes for the Bombers. There was a couple of key injuries, but a lot of the players that have even played well against Carlton in recent years aren't there.
Yeah, spot on, and they've had some issues as well with Lloyd and Lucas retiring. At the moment, Gumbleton, who missed 2 full seasons of footy, last week showed some good signs, and he's going to take a fair bit of time, but at the moment their forward line structure just appears to be a real concern, and it needs to fight tonight if they're going to beat Carlton.
All right, we go to the opening bounce. Who are you selecting?
Going to go with the Blues. I think they're going to be too strong tonight.
All right, should be a big game. Let's go to the opening bounce.
Cruiser's in the centre square. It looked as though Ryder might have been moving forward for the Bombers, and perhaps they'll try and make him a sometime target. Satanta O'Halpin, 7 goals so far for the Blues for the season, has become a great hope for them up forward. And it is Ryder going to the front line of attack. Carlton's acting captain tonight, Michael Jamieson, will man him up.
So opening bounce, Saturday Night Footy. Not much better than a couple of old rivals going for it in front of 60 or 70,000 on a Saturday night. David Hill thrust himself into the action. Dyson and Watson able to extract it. Not for long though, because it's Robertson, and then the quick kick inside from Cruiser, the big double fist away. Betts is waiting down, and Waite just can't get the handle on it. They're very impressive. Tate Pears seeing it over and out. He's already used to punching above his weight a little bit, his Pears, and he's done remarkably well in his very young career.
So the Blues having the first tilt at it. Hill against Cruiser, and Cruiser will rove as well as ruck. Couldn't get an effective hand pass out, so there'll be a ball up.
Watson and Winderlick and Standard all started in the midfield for the Bombers, probably their best 3 available, and that's the move that's interesting. Ryder to start forward. They need to get goals somewhere. Their forward line not functioning, and I don't mind it. Give Ryder a crack up forward.
Eddie Betts in his 100th game sets the scoreboard ticking to the tune of 1. I didn't mention in my little preview at the outset, Hutto, that Essendon haven't lost their first 3 games of a season since 1967. You won't remember that. Well, when were you born?
4 years after that, Tim.
What date?
One fairly close to this one, but the ball back into play. There's a free kick. You heard the free kick. And it's going to Gumbleton, so a long way from his posted centre-half forward.
Right there. Lie on.
It's the handball back. Stanton, always prolific. Looks like he's got Armfield for company tonight. Up to the wing, and again there's the aerial skills of Pears. And he gets it over to the young man, Jake Melksham, who kicks it up to half forward. Almost the mark to Lonergan. Another inclusion into the Bombers lineup. You can see the clean-up operation begins with McLean and then Gibbs. And then through the middle, Russell. Gibbs to the run of Walker. Blues looking dangerous. It's all there for O'Halpin. You never quite know what he's going to do. Sometimes he can win the hard ball easily and lose the easy ball. But it's still alive for Carlton. The ever-improving and leader, Simpson, high ball. Betts waits underneath it. It didn't hit the turf because Waite, well...
Play on, they've called it.
Yeah, I thought he had it. Just about did enough. Whether he actually controlled it or not, I guess was the final call the umpire had to make. Let's have another look.
Very good attempt because it was a high-floating ball. Kept his eye on it, one hand, and correct decision. Didn't quite take it all the way to ground, but an open forward 50 again on that turnover for the Blues.
Betts in everything in the early part for Carlton, but it's Essendon's ball, and Melksham was actually named to start on the bench but started on the ground. Here's Simpson. He's a left footer though. He's going to have to go the long route, and it costs him in the end. Murphy now for Carlton, takes it away from goal to Walker, who sees daylight, goes for broke, pumps it very long. It's another minor score. Good stat, incidentally, 1967, the last time Essendon lost their first 3 games of a season. It was John Coleman's last year as coach. It is the only time in the club's history that it has done that. That is an extraordinary statistic, an unenviable one for the Bombers to face tonight.
I take it you do remember it, Tim.
Oh, very clear memory of that day, Hutto.
Welsh brings it back into play. On the bounce, it's Pears. So, again, it's a little labour-intensive here for the Bombers. They're controlling it, but only just. Finally, the extra handball gets them into the clear. Pears to Winderlich. Good teamwork to Welsh to centre half forward. Ryder looks the man most likely. Marks and then he'll kick into an open forward line. The flashing boots of Reimers could be the target, will be the target, is the target. He gets away from Jamieson, which is an interesting matchup if that is the matchup, because it's not the sort of player Jamieson would normally deal with.
Jamieson started on Ryder, and then Ryder pushed up to centre half forward, and Thornton grabbed him. This is a great lateral lead from Ryder, which says he's got an understanding of how to play forward. It was the right way to go. It opened up the space. Good patience and a beautifully weighted kick. Reimers had too much speed for Jamieson. Kick was perfect.
Played the first round, not the second. And unfortunately, they're not golden boots on this occasion. It is a behind.
Kicking for goal in round 3 has been deplorable. And again, it started Eddie Betts with the first minor. He kicked 4 behinds last week.
I think Ackermanis is onto something. The ball's obviously must be the reason, Luke.
He had to get onto something at some stage.
There's a nice gentle sledge.
3 weeks in after all. Russell giving it to Walker, who's been working his way up and down the ground, and now Jamieson over in the other back pocket.
Move it on. Play on.
He's told time's up, so Jamieson pumps along the southern wing. Murphy outreached here by Melksham, who's made an auspicious start. He's been in 3 contests. He's had 2 disposals of the ball, a kick and a hand pass.
Looked very composed, Tim. He hasn't looked out of place at all on the big stage.
Had a lot of trouble with OP in, I think, 2007-08. Made a terrific recovery.
Holding advantage.
Carlton take it away. Carazzo's kick to the 50 again. Very obvious how open it is forward as Henderson delivers for Waite, and Waite should mark this. We might see those 2 young men go at it for a few more years to come, Waite and Pears. Right now, though, the attention is on Jared Waite.
Impressive lead up there from young Lockie Henderson. Part of the Favola trade. He's got Fletcher as an opponent. He didn't hesitate, presented at the foot. He played on well.
Started the season here at the MCG with a mark and goal. Unfortunately, this time it is a minor score, and the Blues have had a few opportunities, it's fair to say. They're 3 behinds. The Bombers 1.
A little bit more history, Hutto, that I wasn't around to see. The first time Carlton and Essendon ever met was in round 3, 1897. Round 3 on the Queen's birthday Monday, would you believe? It was a different season configuration back then. Essendon putting itself under pressure. Hill and Fletcher, the old guard for the Bombers. Fletcher kicking very high. Cruiser arrives. Williams with him. Melksham again. Cruiser in with a tackle on Hocking, with a bit of help from a couple of teammates. So, well,
Keep the knee out of it. Play on.
Ray Chamberlain arrives and has the last say on that one. And away goes Hocking. Essendon's front half is wide open, and Reimers has got it again. Range the tester here, and he doesn't go for home. He goes for Ryder. Walker got a hand in there. Ryder's paid the mark. That's an interesting one. Big height advantage for Paddy Ryder, and he certainly dominated the contest.
What we're seeing, Tim, is a very one-on-one style of game, which is a bit of a rarity so far in 2010. Open forward lines, midfielders matching up one-on-one, and this is the move that Matthew Knight's pulled. It surprised us.